Hello, welcome to this presentation. It's going to be very quickly. I'm just going to tell you how to make that perfect espresso at home, even with a low quality and quite an inexpensive espresso machine. So let's begin. High quality food with anything starts with high quality ingredients. This is exactly the same for making great espresso. You need to start with high quality beans, otherwise you're off to a losing start. When you go to the supermarket, make sure you have a look on the date and always buy the freshest beans that you can. And you should also always make sure that you buy beans and not grounds. If you want to make that perfect espresso, then you're going to need to grind the beans down yourself. Keep the beans fresh once you buy them. Remember that the minute you open up the pack, they are going to lose the freshness straight away. You can keep them fresher for longer by taking them out of the pack and keeping them in an oxygen-free sealed plastic container. Another thing you should never do is refrigerate them. You'll read around the internet that many people do even freeze or refrigerate their beans. Many people even swear by this, but I've always found it better to buy your beans in small quantities, so there's no need to freeze them, and that way you absolutely guarantee freshness. You should try and get your beans from one of the mountainous regions in South America. Panama is absolutely known to create the best espresso or coffee beans in the world. They truly are the best because of the mountainous region there. The coffee actually grows a lot slower up there. It's a lot more expensive, and there's not as much beans available from Panama, but if you can get them, then you cannot beat beans from Panama. I'd give Nicaragua second place, and Honduras, anywhere in the mountainous regions of southern or central America is where I would be going for my beans. You should even consider, rather than going to your local superstore like Walmart, you should instead go to your local roaster, a local specialist. As soon as beans are roasted, they begin to lose their freshness straight away. Therefore, it would be advantageous, obviously, to buy your beans freshly roasted instead of beans that are roasted and then put in bags for weeks, even months before you purchase them. It's even possible to buy your beans after you've watched them getting roasted, and you'll be handed them still in a warm bag. This is quite simply the best beans you can ever get. So I recommend you consider getting freshly roasted beans from your local dedicated roaster. Perhaps one of the most important tips out there for making quality espresso is to grind your own beans. Obviously, I'm recommending you buy beans and not grinds, so you're going to have to grind them yourself. Beans lose their freshness very quickly the minute they've been ground. This is because there is an increased surface area, more oxygen is in contact with the grounds, therefore they lose their freshness quicker. This is why it's always best to buy beans instead of grounds. It would be preferential for you to grind your own beans, and then the minute they're grounded you can simply place them in your espresso machine. You can't get any fresher than that. I always recommend you use a burr grinder. And it's fairly easy to use. It's a simple operation. It's generally recommended that you spend more on your grinder than on your espresso machine. The grinder really is an important part of the process. Use filtered water. Just like having quality espresso beans, the water is the other main ingredient. If you have normal tap water, then it can affect the taste quite a bit. Remember that the amount of liquid you get in any given espresso is very minuscule, so even the smallest amount of impurity in the water can affect the taste quite a bit. Not only that, but if you use normal tap water, you risk getting an increased lime scale build-up in your machine, which over time can impair the taste of your espresso, which is another reason just to filter your water. It will be necessary for you to tamp your grinds in any semi-automatic espresso machine that you buy. Anytime you use grinds or grind your own beans down, you will need to tamp the beans. Unfortunately, most espresso machines come with really bad quality tampers, and it's almost always essential for you to buy your own quality stainless steel tamper. The pressure you need to apply is 30 pounds, or anywhere between 30 and 40 pounds, and you should actually practice this with your tamper on an actual bathroom scale just to get the feel for the right amount of pressure which you need to use. It's also very important to keep your machine clean. Remember, again, your espresso is very small. Any impurity that's built up over in the machine can have quite a big effect on the quality of your espresso. You should also flush your machine through after every single use. Most espresso machines will enable you to do this simply at the push of a button, and you should do this every time. Just imagine you use your espresso machine and then you come back the next day to use it again, and you're making your espresso, and the first thing that's going to fire into your cup is yesterday's crusty espresso that's on the inside of the tubes. Flush it through every time and make sure you keep your machine clean. Thank you very much.